Welcome to Nivalis,
Wait, is this channel
the only known city left on the planet. It's an expansive, bustling city which is set high up in the skies. You're Arania, a woman from the Eastern Peninsula from a farming settlement on the outskirts of the city. On hard times, broke and with the debt core after you, you moved to Nivalis and start a new job as a Cloudpunk delivery driver. You are a smuggler and a taxi driver, an illegal business who helps anyone who has the cash. Rule 1. Do not ask any questions and do not look inside the packages. There is a big issue though. Lots of drivers have had random accidents over the last few weeks. Are you even going to survive your first night on the job? The first person you make contact with is Cloudpunk's dispatch service, called Control, an individual who introduces you into your new job.
Where do I sign?
Right here, Mr. Carva. Cloudpunk dispatcher.
If you're looking for an action RPG, this game is farthest from that. It has zero combat. This is a single player game which consists of you driving your hover to pick up packages, parking, and then navigating on foot through the city to meet the client. This is a very heavy story driven game, plain and simple. There is some funny and clever writing here, especially like the gang members in Camus, your friendly kind dog.
Urban renewal, bitch! Oh yeah!
Wait, what? Urban renewal?
Yeah. Community project. Planting gardens on corporate waste ground. Turning old factories into playgrounds. Real hardcore shit.
The package.
I hear it too.
I still have bad feelings.
It leads on good stories in that alone, but does that make it a compelling game though?
Control, this is Driver 14 FC. Come in, this is important.
Driver 14 FC, this is Control. Please deliver your current package with urgency.
Control, why is this package ticking?
Throughout the world, there are items you can collect on the streets as you walk around them, ranging from coolants, punch cards, electronics, to rarer items like antique video games, to severed hands, to cybernetic arms, the list goes on. The rarer items trigger new people in the world to speak with, which is really good. It makes wanting to collect these items more important. Even some elevators are damaged and can't be used unless you have electronic pieces to repair them. So the items actually have a good use besides just collecting. You can buy new clothes from merchants, drugs, coffee, and other types of food, even new hovers themselves. Cloudpunk doesn't like you damaging your hover either. It requires you to refuel at gas stations and go to mechanics to repair damage. You can upgrade your hover at a mechanic also, from a NOS type speed burst, aesthetics, to engine trail colours, which I thought was actually a great option in the game. I would have loved if I could get a paint job done for the mechanic, to pick a colour like of the hover. Maybe even some basic decals, or even slight changes to the engine noise, especially when the whole game revolves around you and your hover. More customization would be welcome. You eventually unlock your own apartment too. You can visit this anytime you wish, and as the story unfolds you actually unlock more upgrades for it. You can unlock a fish tank, fridge, mirrors, photos, even a monthly pizza club. There's a whole range of different options you can get. Again here I would have loved some extra customization. Different coloured lights would have been great, maybe even different carpets or rugs to make the apartment look a little bit more fancy. They do let you purchase with your money new upgrades for your apartment though, so I'm only minor nitpicking here. But when the games have player housing, players really like to go wild with making it their own customised house.
I could never catch them.
Being able to move the pieces around the house would have been a great feature as well, so we could put paintings up on the wall, stuff like that. There was one quest I really hated. That was a quest for your neighbour. She requires punch cards. The first time meeting her, she requires 20 cards, which is fine, that's no big deal. Then she requires another 20. Okay, a little bit annoying there, but not a huge deal. But the game asks you to collect 80 of these for a whole entire quest line. There could be a little bit more, but I didn't quite finish it. I got to about 70. I know they're trying to make items in the game have more relevance, but this just wasn't fun. It felt more like a chore. I was interested in her quest line to see how the story unfolded with her, but that quickly changed as I had to start collecting more and more and more of them. The reason that they ask you to collect the cards makes sense, but it doesn't make it any more fun.
Sure you are. Fuck off.
I found that 90% of the missions you have to complete don't have a time limit, so you can pick up your package, but you can go and do anything you want and deliver it whenever you want. But with some of the story tied to these packages, they made it sound urgent where I thought I needed to get to the client very quickly, but there was no time limit to them all. The game also has sections where you need to choose what you want to do with the package as a major part of the story. I really liked having this option. I wish more games would actually have more of this, more consequences. But I found that there were actually not many consequences to any of these actions, which was pretty disappointing. This could be added to a lot more playability to it. The music is decent and fits the cyberpunk universe fairly well. The voice acting is actually kind of hit or miss for me personally. Standouts were the main characters Rania, the old man named Control, Huxley, and your automaton dog called Camus.
I think there are clear differences in intelligence between the Spire dwellers and those from the slums. Debate me.
Me? No.
There were some very annoying characters you meet in the game. Lucky you don't actually have to listen to them for a large part of the game though. I know they were trying to make characters where you're not supposed to like them, but some of the voices were cringy and just annoying in general, to the point where I actually wanted to skip what they were actually saying, but I didn't just because of this review. I think this kind of defeats the purpose of having the character in the game if it makes you feel like you want to skip the voice. The environmental sound effects were really well done though. I would recommend turning down the environmental sound effects in the options to about half. The Hover is very loud and all the other cars are very loud in the game, and while you actually have to listen to that through the whole entire course of the game, it can wane on you a little bit. Dropping down the sound environment really made it perfect for me. I'm not usually a fan of pixel and voxel art personally, but the amount of detail and effort they put into this world is absolutely amazing. I constantly just traveled to different spots just to see how different they were. The amount of detail they put into the little buildings and shops was just unreal. The lighting was very well done also. The puddle effects were super reflective. Hats off to the art team, they really nailed the look. The game is very, very pretty.
Any other gangs that talk quite like you do.
What's the matter, Cloudpunk? Our speed's too fresh for you?
So is this game for you? Is this a fun game? I can say for certain that this game is not for everyone. If you don't have much patience for stories to unfold out, with zero combat in the game, it can be really difficult to say if you'll enjoy this or not. I thought the game was actually very good. I really enjoyed exploring the world. I liked most of the characters I met in the game. They have done an excellent job with building such a beautiful world. Some of the voice acting really harms the story sometimes, but the majority of the stories were actually told were fairly good. I'd really like to see a new game from the developer team. They've made something very unique here.
You were alright, Cloudpunk. You ever get yourself a small human, you bring them here to play in the swings.
What?
I know I've been really critical on many parts of the game, but I know it can be just that little bit better. The story is the most important part of the game in my opinion, and this game does it very well. It's not an expensive title, so if you're unsure if this actually is going to fit for you, I would suggest just giving it a try. These smaller games deserve more spotlight in the gaming industry right now.
Investigator, and your name is Huxley.
I hope this brings in more cyberpunk and sci-fi games in the future as well.
Before she left me and moved back in with her mother.
Hi, so what is your star sign, please?
I don't know. Why
I'm hoping they might add some DLC to this later on. Maybe where you can actually take out the people you meet to get a burger or drinks, or even go to a nightclub, stuff like that, where you can actually build kind of relationships with these people. It really sells the story a lot more. If you have any questions, please just leave a comment and I'm happy to help you out in any way.